The ever popular Catbells to High Spy is what we chose as our next logical progression up the peaks. 3 wonderful fells in a row to work our way up from our last journey of 1,158 feet summit to a new objective of 2,142 feet. Oh yeah. This worked well, as at any point on any of the 3 summits we could turn back and go down. But this was actually a very shocking step up for me. The apps and the reviews don't really demonstrate the reality of what is to come. A fake first summit, scary higher snow peaks in the distance, and ice. Remember, for safety reasons you can always turn back, but in my case, you can always push yourself too. Catbells, it's one of the most popular fells in the area, on the western shore of Derwent Water within 3 miles of Keswick. It's great for family and youths to climb with a simple scramble to the top. Many usually turn back once admiring the views, and believe me, I considered it before even starting the incline to the real Catbells summit. Nevertheless, Aiden being him, he kept me going. I'm glad he did. Being our usual selves, we just make fun out of each other along the way to keep us entertained and help keep my focus away from the drops on our trail. We made it to the Catbells summit, such an achievement for me at this point, even though the view behind me shows further higher peaks we had to reach, covered in snow.
Nice one, come please.
Next up was Maiden Moor, which is really for stronger walkers, about 576 metres or 1,890 feet. It's going to be the longest fell to reach for me so far. It links Catbells with High Spy, situated above the Youthwaite mine area, made famous by Beatrix Potter in the tale of Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, where Mrs. Tiggy Winkle was supposed to have lived in one of the holes in the fell above the mine.
Top of the world. Top of the world. What's this one called? Maiden Moor. Well, that one is there. Just come from over there, Catbells.
The summit is a level grassy plateau, thank God, but the drops on each side were unnerving for me at this point, and I really tried venturing towards the edges. Sometimes I had to sit down to compose myself with my legs feeling jelly-like. Aiden being his usual daring self, taking the camera for me and getting the spectacular views from the edge.
So we're still at the summit of High Spy, but look at the views. Oh my golly gosh. It's on the other side of, well, High Spy. I'm too scared to go to the side. Let's have a look over the edge. Go on, Stephen, we can do it. Oh my god, it's like a drop down there. What a
Go something here.
Cheers.
On our way to High Spy, we were hit again with a fake summit, maybe 2 or 3 times. We thought we were in touching distance, but later found out not to rely on your phone's app for which way you are facing. Yes, this was a point that has made me consider purchasing a compass and learning to map read properly. Watch this space. We thought the summit was this peak off to the left, which was really prominent. But Aidan remembered seeing a cairn originally which we had deviated off path from and had to go back on ourselves to the right, following a couple to the dawn.
What's on moonwalking? Friends! Oh, I get it. You're like a hand here.
We finally made it to the High Spy and my highest summit yet at 2,142 feet. The mountainous views were incredible in every direction at this point. Aidan enjoyed looking down to the valley and the views from the edge, but this is where I need to overcome my fears. Next time, I will peer down to the valleys. That's my goal. Did you know High Spy is almost a Marilyn, but definitely a mountain? It missed out on being a Marilyn by just 2 meters. Next up was finding a trail back down. This was an adventure in itself, as we knew we had to go beyond the summit and come down the valley on the left. So we simply headed that way, following some cairns through the deep snow and finding random frozen streams or tiny tarns.
I think that used to be a bit of a stream, mate.
One small town we found was completely frozen over, with the biggest icicles we had seen for years. This was probably dangerous, thinking back, as the ice could have broken and one of us could have fallen in, but hey, you live and learn.
Most of it's frozen.
We also heard some running water at one point and ventured off track to find a beautiful frozen waterfall, where we stopped for a spot of lunch. Back on the trail down a steepish valley, Aidan wanted to try his shorter way down, but eventually came to his senses, having to climb back up to meet me on the actual trail, slipping in the process. Would crampons have helped here, Aidan?
Oh no. That's not the easiest route.
Sitting down. I come this way now.
Again, another lesson learned for next time. Ah, the caves, or mines as we found out later. Small tunnels enough for Aidan to stand up in, or any other human to crawl through. He really does enjoy exploring caves.
Entrance to the cave. Entrance to the cave. He's going in. He's gone for it, like. Huh? I'm not going to the other one then.
Whoa. The last final trail back was simply an easier, steady walk back around the foot of the fells. However, a word of caution, the main path down is so rocky, after 7 or 8 miles of hiking, your knees will hurt, especially at our age. paracetamol helped me here, believe it or not. Finally, we made it back to the car and already started thinking about our next adventure, but we realised we had lots to learn and research now. We were hooked. Wild camping, anyone?